Welcome to Pure Phuckery, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Monique Ross. In today's episode, in honor of Father's Day, which is this coming Sunday, I brought on one of my favorite dads, one of my favorite couples. This is Coach Steve and his wife, Alicia. You guys can introduce yourselves.
Hey y'all, my name is Alicia. I am the wife of Steve. We've been married almost 10 years. April will be our 10th year wedding anniversary.
That's dope.
And I am excited to be on this show with Dr. Ross, and hopefully we just have a good time talking about some stuff and everybody just enjoy themselves.
Coach Steve, also known Top Flight. Some of y'all probably know me as Top Flight, promoter in the city, a coach, activist, some of everything. Community leader, that's what's up.
That's what's up, Coach Steve and Alicia. I appreciate you guys for coming on. So, like I said, this episode is going to be dedicated to fatherhood because Father's Day is coming up, and one of my favorite dads, he doesn't even know this about himself, but one of my favorite dads in the entire world, and that's a big deal, right? Because I'm saying the entire world. Coach Steve, he coached my son's football team up until last year, which was 6th grade, and even since we parted ways with the football team that Coach Earl was coaching, and they're still up in the air because we might be coming back this year in the event that we're going to have football. But he coached my son, and he doesn't know that he just left a lasting impression on myself, my son, and his dad, like literally our family. And when I was sitting up thinking about what I was going to do for the content for the next episode, I thought about it being Father's Day, and I said, who can I bring on as a dad? And I could have easily went back and brought my ex-husband on, but I wanted to do something different, shake things up a bit. So I reached out to Coach Steve and asked him if he would be interested in coming on for the podcast, and he immediately was like, I'm down. When? And I was like, whenever. He's like, I'm off, so let me know. And here he is, like within 24 hours. So people who asked to come on the podcast, this is how you convince me that you're serious about coming on the podcast. And he didn't ask, I asked him, and here he is within 24 hours. So when you reach out saying I want to be a guest, come with it. I'm sitting at home idle. If you want to do it, do it. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox anyhow. Brought Coach Steve on. Like I said, he's left a lasting impression on our family, and I was going off into it a little bit before we turned the camera on about how one time my son was being a little jerk and refused to go to football practice and was giving his granny a hard time. And I reached out to Coach Steve and I said, Coach, Daniel's showing out. He don't want to go to football practice. I'm out working. His dad was working. He was with his grandma, and she had just had some surgery. She didn't have time to deal with him being extra. And I hit Coach Steve up, and he's like, I got it. Didn't expect him to show up at the door, but he showed up at the door, got the kids together, got them off the football practice. And that meant a lot to me because not too many people go out of their way to help out. It takes a village, right? And they're part of my village, whether they know it or not. You know, they were there, especially when I was like buku traveling for work. They helped out, picking the kid up, dropping them off, just whatever, helping out and just being there. And these people, you know, didn't really know too much about me. I know that for a fact. You know, they saw my ex-husband. So again, I thought about Coach Steve. He's one of my favorite dads. They're one of my favorite couples. They have a beautiful family. You guys have 4 kids, right? 4 beautiful kids. And I just think they're super dope. So I asked them to come on, and they're here. So I'm going to turn it over, go at Coach Steve real quick and ask Coach Steve, what, as a father, as an activist, as a coach, all these hats that you wear within our community, what drives you, what motivates you, what keeps you going, and how do you keep up that momentum?
Definitely family and the kids. Like, it all starts with the kids at home. So like a lot of kids don't have that positive role model in their life, you know, to look up to. I know when I was younger, I didn't really, you know. I looked up to guys that was in the streets doing, you know, street stuff. So, you know, like, you don't want your kids growing up like that, though. Because you did it don't mean you want your kids to do it. So So for me, it's just making sure, you know, not just my son, his friends, you know, all the kids in the neighborhood on the right track, and, you know, trying to get them boys off to college. You know, the girls too, not even just the boys. You know, just trying to see that they have bright futures.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Coach. I respect you for that. I admire you for that. Alicia, your husband wears all these hats. He's out, involved in the community, probably spending buku hours away from home. How do you deal with that? How do you support that and keep a level head and run a household with 4 beautiful babies? How do you manage it all?
Well, I guess I would be super mom, but pre-quarantine, it's not always easy. Like, a lot of people might look at me and they might think, oh, she has such a good lifestyle, she don't have to work full time, her husband does this. But I mean, it's a lot of hard work to maintain and to try and help carry a household, especially when you have a busy husband. My husband is always working. I mean, whether it's coaching a football team or a basketball team, or doing a fundraiser, or just helping people when they call. And, you know, he works a 40-hour job and on call, so it's countless times where he's out late, and then he does marketing on the side, like he promotes for clubs and venues, and it's hard. Like, I never really, you know, open up about my feelings, but I just try to be supportive, because, you know, I see his drive, and I know this is what he loves to do. And let me tell you, this was not a part of the plan before we were married. This was after. So this is something that I had to just adjust to. It was not like I knew what I was getting into. This came well after, you know, marriage, all this like busy, hectic lifestyle. So I don't want to be selfish to where I wanted to have an attitude or just make him feel like, you know, he wasn't giving me enough time. I just try to be supportive, and I know just one day it'll pay out. I'm praying for the day where, you know, he can get to where his goals, where he want to be, so he can get up out of this field, because there's a lot of things that come with the territory. And, you know, sometimes as a woman you have to be strong, and you have to just think you can handle it, because it's not an easy lifestyle to handle. I'm sure a lot of women couldn't handle, and at times I don't think I can, but I just keep pushing because I love my family. And to see his drive and his motivation, and it's like a fire that he has, like he loves what he does. So I think
it's inspiring. Does it inspire you?
It does. Like, he can be so inspiring, like, and so sometimes crazy sometimes, to where he make me feel like I gotta get out there and get it. Like, a big part of me is that I second guess everything I do. Like, and I have like issues to where I just don't think this will be good enough. I'll be good enough for you know, what he probably believes in me more than I do at times. And it kind of motivates me. The older I get, the more motivated I get. Like, I'm just really ready to dive in. And, you know, I spent a lot of times pouring so much into, you know, being a good wife, and, you know, cooking, cleaning, trying to be the best mom and the perfect wife. And I kind of like put, you know, myself on the back end a little bit, because I just was focused on that. I was like, oh, I have this husband, he makes good money, you know, I don't have to really do all this. I can just be a stay-at-home mom and, you know, be super mom. But that just didn't fulfill, you know, my destiny or what I really wanted to do. So I mean, I want to really do things on my own. You know, I want to be a good businesswoman, and I have these dreams and goals. So the older I get, I'm kind of working on it.
Go for them. You have so much time, and I'll take that back, because on one hand, you have your whole life ahead of you, but we don't know what tomorrow holds. But in the same breath, what are you waiting for? Because of that, go for it. Just do it. And I ain't bring y'all here to do no counseling or coaching session. I did just get my life coaching certification. I did want to just throw that out there. I just got my life coaching certification. I'm working on the master life coaching certification, but that's not what we're here for. But I have to say it, like, whatever it is, just do it and pursue it fearlessly and relentlessly. If that's what, if you've been given a vision, it's there for a reason. And you never know who it's going to inspire, who it's going to help. Like, Coach Steve has no idea the inspiration he is to me and my family. Like, the love that we got for him and the appreciation that we have for him. And he's out here just doing what's in his heart. Being a good stand-up guy and helping out within the community. Like he said, kids are without fathers and whatnot. And he's, you know, wearing all these hats and helping out. and he doesn't even know the people that he's inspiring. Like, go for it. And you inspire me as a mom. Like, that's why, like, you're here. Like, how you deal with all this and have 4 kids and look as beautiful as you do. Like, you're absolutely gorgeous. Your skin is radiant. I'm sitting here looking at you like, look at her skin. It's like you're glowing. You're glowing, sis. No bullshit. She is. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but anyhow, that's dope. What y'all got is dope. The way she talks about you, like, man, I hear, like, I straight up hear just the love that you guys have for each other, and I see that between you guys, and it's dope as hell. So anyhow, I'm gonna get off my soapbox again, because I tend to go there. How do you guys find time for each other? How did y'all make 4 babies with him moving the way he moves and working the way he works? Like, how do you guys find time to connect with one another as a couple and even as a family? Like, how do you guys find that time to do it?
It took a while. It took a while, because at first it was like me being gone so much, she was kind of getting like neglected. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I can admit that. But like, we found time, like, a lot of times, like, we like to go out of town. So like,
yeah,
when we get out of St. Louis, you know, everything that I do in St. Louis is kind of back though.
Right.
You know, it's just like, not like, that's how I learned to get ahead. Like, even on my promotion, I learned to get like a few weeks ahead. That way, if we go out of town, I'm not sitting there promoting the whole time about town, because I'm going week by week. You know, so yeah, it definitely took time, but you know, you gotta find that balance.
That's what's up.
Definitely gotta find that balance.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I agree with that. Balance is definitely key to any lasting relationship, any good foundation you gotta have. You gotta balance everything out. And we do a lot. We love to eat together. Okay. So like, we go places, even if we have like a midday lunch where we just stop by and get a bite to eat, or we can go to the movies, or even working out. Like, that's something that he's been trying to push me, like, Alicia, you said you're gonna work out, and there you go. So even running, just things like that where we can spend time together, quality time. It used to be my husband's so busy, we would spend time together, and the whole time he had somebody calling him in his phone, talking about something they need, and I'm sitting there like, why can't he just cut the phone off? But it's business. But now we have understanding where he knows if we spend time together and that phone keep going, he know I'm just gonna be like, you know what, we'll just wrap this up later. Because I can't say, like, when I want my time or have my time with him, I want all of my time, because everybody needs him. Right. And it's like, I need the most time. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about give me my time. But I mean, other than that, we like to do our, you know, we get as much as personal alone time as we can. We have so many small kids, they find their way in the bedroom with us all the time, so it seemed like privacy, we had to just kind of make time for that. But I mean, I'm sure y'all know we have a good time whenever we do, but but yeah, we gotta, I mean, it just comes, we just gotta get in where we fit in. But I mean, I love spending time with him. Like, I love being with him. So people might think I'm crazy, like, oh, Alicia, she crazy, you can't do nothing, you can't do nothing, go anywhere without him. But I mean, I can't even sleep at night whenever he's out. It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like that. Yeah, that's what's up. That's mad dope. I love it. I love it. What else? I was gonna say, Coach, as far as the coaching is concerned, how did you get off into coaching? Where did you start? Did you play sports in school?
I played sports, but I definitely never really planned on being a coach. Mm-hmm. I think probably when my son played first grade, he played with Chris Sanders. Mm-hmm. So like, I started helping them coach, and then even that next year, you know, Sanders went up with his team to 3rd grade, and they needed a first, 2nd grade coach. I still didn't want to do it. Yeah. Like, they had to talk me into it, because I really didn't want to coach my son. You know, but they had to talk me into it, you know, and I went ahead and took it, because they really couldn't find nobody else. But I started liking it though.
And you've been so successful with it. Super Bowl champs. They're like the how many years back to back Super Bowl, Super Bowl champs. That's what's up. That's dope. So
yeah, we always been in the running too. So
that's awesome. As far as your kids are concerned, do they ever complain about you being as involved with the other kids within the community? How do they deal with that?
Nah, I think they pretty much, because like a lot of the kids in the community, I guess because I am who I am, like they pretty much friends with pretty much everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So like we always got a house full of kids.
Right.
Always. Like we got a house full right now. So like they probably think I'm probably like that fun parent that really don't care what they do, or they, I just kind of let them kick back.
That's what's up.
So.
That's dope. That's dope. That's amazing. What else? I know you got something you want to say, Alicia. You got something that's on your dome?
Well, I mean, not for real. We have our oldest is 15, and she's not really into all of the sports. She started playing basketball at first, but it didn't work out for her. But she's our little intelligent, bright star. She's very smart in school, gets really good grades. I always hear good things about her, and we just try to spend a lot of time with her, and we just kind of ask her what she wants to do, and a lot of times she likes to do her own thing, but we always tell her to talk to us about anything, or if there's anything that we can do to make her feel like we're not leaving her out, because I know we spend a lot of time and effort with our king, because he's doing a lot of sports and things like that. And our younger girls, they some daddy's girl. I mean, Steve spoils the crap out of them, but and they didn't have to grow through the struggle. Me and Steve, we were young parents. I was 17 when I had my first daughter, and me and him moved in together. So I'm 32 now, and I've been with Steve around maybe almost 16 years.
Wow.
So I've been with him like almost half my life pretty much. So I relied heavily on him during my younger years, and we've lived together for a long time. So our two youngest, at a point that we're at right now, where we have better jobs, making better money, they didn't have to go through like a struggle. Like, they so spoiled. We have big goals. We're looking forward to purchasing our own home very soon. So like, it's been a long time coming. Like, we at a point now to where we're comfortable with it. Like, it's never been a thing where you look around and you see a lot of people our age doing things. It's just that we are comfortable where we are. Like, we like the area, we want the best schools, and a lot of times that takes sacrifice, and we've sacrificed a lot for like our kids. So it's nice to kind of see finally some of that stuff paying off. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Definitely. I'm excited to see where it goes for you guys. I'm super proud of you guys. If I haven't let you guys know already, like, I think y'all super dope. And I hope all the best for you too. Coach Steve, do you ever get to the point where you're overwhelmed with all that you do, and sometimes think about just throwing in the towel and just focusing on one particular thing, to just where you're wrapped up, like, okay, this is a lot? Do you reach that point ever?
I get overwhelmed all the time. All the time. But then again, it's like I learned to deal with it, because I mean, it's life, and you're gonna be busy, and most of the time, most of the stuff I do is actually bringing money into the household, and then taking care of other things I gotta take care of, as far as like I pay for a lot of kids to play football every year, a lot of kids that can't afford to play, sponsor uniforms for teams. I do a lot. So I mean, so it really bring in them. So like, I just learned to deal with it. Right. I just learned to deal with it, learn to roll with the blows, and then I know when to tell her, like, okay, hey, next weekend we getting out of town. And a lot of times that's kind of how it is. I'll be like, hey, we leaving. Like, yeah. I need a break. So it'd be random. She'd be like, next weekend, like, yeah, next weekend we jump in the car, we gone.
Make it happen. Just make it happen.
We out of here.
That's what's up.
I just learned to deal with it.
That's what's up.
It's definitely a lot.
Alicia, do you feel overwhelmed at times with it all, and do you ever just get to the point where you're just like, I can't do it no more?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in many situations, I feel overwhelmed. Like, in many situations, I'm just all drained out. Like, but I try to be very spiritual, and I rely on prayer. I talk to God a lot of times, and just like Steve, I can sense whenever he's overwhelmed, and I try to do everything in my power to kind of calm him, because people have to understand, energy transfers sorry, and the first person that's going to get all of that is me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm there. I mean, I'm like right here with him.
Exactly.
So, and even when Steve doesn't like to do something, he will push himself to do it just because he can say that he pushed through. Like with his job, he's great at what he does, but this might not be nothing he wants to do forever or whatever. He has other big dreams, but it's so many people wanting us to fail, especially young black men. Like the job he has, it's not, a lot of black men aren't doing this kind of job that he's doing.
Right.
So it motivates him to be an example for other young black men and say, you know, you can do this. Whether they want you to make all this money or not, this is here and this is an opportunity for you. So when he's overwhelmed, I just try to remind him of like you've come so far, babe. Like you came from in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't introduced to any of that till I came to Kirkwood in the hood in Meacham Park. But he has like surpassed so many on his level. Like, and I mean, he's constantly leveling up. So it's like, I know it's hard, but like one day it's going to pay off. Like, you know, all this hard work that you've been putting in. Like, you're young, you're your husband, you're successful, you got 4 kids, and you got 1 baby mama. So, you know what I'm saying?
Rare. You're a rare breed, Coach Steve.
A lot of time people ask me, like, y'all been together this long, all your kids by him? I'd be like, yes. Like, I mean,
it's rare. Unfortunately,
it's very rare. So, I mean, I try to tell him to go for, you know, what he wants to do, but also make time for himself. And that's the big drawback. You can make all the money in the world, but if you don't have time to spend it, it's pointless. And, you know, tomorrow's not promised. He worked with a lot of people, and I tell him all the time, I be like, I think sometimes people might try to take advantage of you because you're so caring. Like, you're the part, you will take your shirt off your back and give it to somebody else, but at the same time, there are other people that can do that stuff too. Like, you have to live just like everybody else. Steve is always trying to make sure everything is in order. Well, what about Steve? Like, I think I care about and think about his well-being more than he does, because he's more of a mellow, go with the flow, whatever. Steve's like a fuck it type of person.
Right.
Like, he don't, and I'm more analytical. I'm sitting back analyzing like, nah, that ain't
everything,
gonna work.
The situation.
So, yeah, I try to, you know, I just try to keep everything just smooth flowing and try to make sure he got time for himself. I mean, his phone, even though it does he works off his business. If I could hide that damn phone for a good week and he couldn't find it, it would probably do him some good. You know, we can go get on a cruise and we can go jet skis and we can be in the middle of the ocean
and not have to worry about it.
And I would be scared, but you know, as long as he's there, it would be cool, because I'd be like, you know, he's gonna let me drown or, you know, something like that. But yeah, I would hide it just so we can have a peaceful, because that's the thing, you gotta have your peace. You don't got your peace, I mean, it's pointless. And I've learned it. Like, you don't stress what you can't control, but, you know, enjoy yourself, because everybody else enjoying themselves, so why shouldn't you?
Exactly. So. I agree. That's dope. That's what's up. Right. How do you, Alicia, how do you deal with coaches' groupies? As a football coach, you know, all the single moms at the football games. He's a promoter, a club promoter. So you guys, you know, he's out in the nightlife scene, the day party scene. How do you deal with all of that with Coach Steve and his quote unquote fans?
Oh man, I mean, it definitely takes some strength. It's something that I am still yet trying to deal with. Like, if I was to be honest, it's something that I don't know if I would ever be truly, you know, okay and content with. I would be probably wearing a fake ass mask to people. Like, oh, it's cool, but you know, it's very hard. I know it comes with the territory, and I know, you know, he's fine and good looking, and I'm a jealous person.
But like, you're fine and good looking
but
too,
still,
baby.
I'm jealous, and that can make you, you know, a lot of women might not want to say they can be insecure, but I'm gonna be honest, a lot of women are insecure, even the ones that are, you know, beautiful and don't think they are. Like me, I watch my husband, and he has to interact with certain women because of whatever, but I'm so jealous. Like, every time I see him, you know, liking something or posting a woman, I'm like, I'm comparative. I'm like, oh, why the fuck he post? You know, I'm that's how I am. So it's kind of like I have to remind myself that, well, he loves me. We're married, and I just try to tell myself that over and over again. But I know a lot of women are manipulated. I'm a woman, and I know that that's how we are. Like, if they can get something out of them, they will try. And a lot of women don't respect marriages, and they don't care. Nowadays, you in the era of the side chick and the one that does not care as long as she get what she wants, because she's not the one getting hurt. And that's the thing with women. They have no ties. So that type of woman don't care if you hurt, you know, the woman that you with. She don't know her. A lot of people say the loyalty is to you, and I agree. It's up to a man or husband to put his foot down and to make his wife feel, you know, that she's not in competition with anybody, or that she's, you know, this is her throne. So, I mean, it's very, very hard to deal with. Like, I tell Steve all the time, I'm like, man, damn, babe, if we can go back and this is what you was doing before, we might not have got married so fast. Because I know I can drive him crazy with, you know, with maybe thinking that he's doing this and he's doing that, and he's probably not. But, and I have to tell him sometimes too, I'm like, well, Steve, you have to watch the way that you know, you carry yourself too, because a lot of people get the wrong impression. He might be funny and stuff if you know him, but people that don't know him and he's so in the spotlight, whether he likes or not,
right,
be in the spotlight, they might think something else. So, and I'm very protective, and that's why I have trust issues too. Like, I don't trust a lot of, you know, people. And that's something that I'm working
on.
People
have ulterior motives, and they will smile in your face and
talk about
snake you behind your back.
But
so
I just try to, any friends that we have, I want them to be mutual, because I'm not gonna lie, I tell them I don't like that personal friend. After we were married almost 10 years ago, everything is mutual. There's no, this is my personal friend. No, if they weren't friends before that, then I would gladly get to know any friends before that, just like me. But ain't no new secret type of things like that, because this is what we, you know, made a vow to and what we did. And then it's just important to be honest about things. If I tell him what bothers me and he takes the time to maybe analyze it and correct it, or just listen to my feelings, I respect him so much more. Now, there have been instances where I may have felt neglected, that he wasn't tripping off my feelings, because he probably be like, she tripping, it's nothing. But deep down, it can do something to you, you know, as a woman, because it's just so, it's like so much pressure. Like, it's like you can't be weak. Like, I have to put on this strong face all the time for everybody to think, oh, how does she deal with that? You know, but deep down, it's some adjusting to get to. Like, I bleed just like the rest of any other woman. You know, and I'm human. I have feelings. Like, and a lot of those feelings I keep bottled up inside, because I don't want people to see me as weak. So I might say I'm not bothered, but don't get it twisted, and don't let the pretty face fool you. I'm truly bothered, and I'm always on attack mode. So a lot of times, and one thing that I've done as I gotten older, if I feel like somebody's trying to play me, or even with women groupies, I kind of put a wall up. So like, I can have a good relationship, but if I feel like you're not being honest with me, and I'm like, before I let myself get, you know, that vulnerable and hurt, I will put a wall up, and like, I try to fall back a little bit, but it's always a way to wheel me back in. But that wall, I feel like, is to protect me. Because like, I can't let you get too close, and my head messed up again, and I'm back weak. Like, I'm not going back. I tell them all the time, I'm not going back to being, you know, stressed and always, you know, asking what people doing, or they motives, or questioning this friendship, or questioning him maybe, or not being able to, or thinking that he's doing something that he shouldn't be, or hiding something from me. But, you know, I know it's part of the territory, and I know he has to be friendly. So, you know, I've been trying to work on it, and I know he don't want to hear me nag about it all the time or do this, but a lot of times it's not a nag, it's just, I just constantly say it over again, because I feel like he's not taking in my feelings. Like, just listen and correct it and not stop. So then I just stop talking about it altogether, but then nothing ever gets fixed. So, but I just try to deal with it the best way I can. I'm not 100% like probably ever going to be able to be completely okay with a groupie or somebody eyeing my damn man. Like, even if he go out in the presence and they want to kick it with him, like, we in the booth and it's 100 women in the booth, in my husband's booth, and like, it's something that you gotta have a strong. You gotta be a strong woman to deal with that. I bet. Like, it's
Let me tell you a story. I don't mean to cut you off, but Coach Steve probably don't even remember this, and I'll edit it out if y'all don't want this to go on camera. But as you were talking, something popped in my head. Coach was promoting at some, I can't remember where it was, but I was turning 35, and he said, I can get you a booth. So he got me a booth, and I went out to his club. And I've never, you know, I say, hey, Coach, you got mad respect for him. And to this day, and even then I did. It was an accident. But he probably never told you this. And like I said, I'll take it out if you don't want it to go in there. But I accidentally texted him. I had left the club, we was drunk, and I accidentally texted him, and it wasn't like it just was like, you coming through or something like that.
Yeah.
And he replied, and he's like, what? And I'm like, oh no, coach, that wasn't for you. That wasn't for you. And I don't know if you remember this, but that I was so embarrassed. I apologized profusely, and I was like, I wonder if he's gonna go home and tell his wife that Daniel's mom was hitting on him. And I swear to God, I was not hitting on Coach Steve. I would never. But that just popped in my head just now as Alicia was talking, because I'm not that girl. I'm not hitting on your man. I'm not hitting on your husband. Definitely not your man. But I accidentally text Coach Steve. I was hitting up one of my little somethings that I had going on back then, and I'm like, you coming through or not or something. And it was just hilarious. And I laid in my bed that night. I started replying to all text messages. I laid in my bed that night just thinking all these thoughts, like, why would you send that man that text? How could you send him that text? He's gonna tell his wife and yada yada. I trip off stuff like that. Cause I tried my best not to offend or just step out of line and be out of pocket, because that's not how I roll. That's not who I am as a person. But anyhow, I just had to tell that story. Is that cool that I told that story on here? Did you know about that?
I don't know. If
it happened. This was a good 5 years ago.
I'm gonna fact, but see, that's a good question for him, because he may know a lot of women like that, and that's what I was telling you. Whenever they don't care, like if Steve know a lot of women, if he was to offer it up, he can get it. Let's just say like that, because that's just. Look at my husband. He's fine. He's handsome. So like, I already know that's just how it is when you're beautiful. And men hit on me all the time, but I just don't. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just so dedicated or in love with my husband that I don't pay him no mind.
Right.
People might think I'm crazy, and they be like,
"How do you feel, Coach? How do you feel knowing? Because you know she's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. How do you feel about knowing that men hit on your wife? Have you witnessed it before?
Yeah, it don't bother me.
It don't bother you?
No, it don't bother me at all.
Nothing bothers him.
So nonchalant. What's your
zodiac
sign?
I'm an Aries.
Aries. Okay, fire sign.
I feel like if I wanted somebody that I didn't want nobody to hit on, I just get an ugly chick. You know what I mean?
No, because they don't hit on the ugly.
It don't bother me, because I know she gonna turn them down. Like I see it even when she come to the club, dudes walk up to her. It don't bother. My partners be like, I'll be like, man, I ain't worried about that. She ain't gonna do nothing but say she married, show her ring, and walk off. And then she'll put her hand up and boom, she gone.
Right.
You know, I'll be like, so why even stress it and run up over there, like, like, let her have fun. Like,
yeah.
That's security. That's
security. It don't bother me at all.
That's mad dog. That's that security that you guys have.
I don't mind turning men down either. And just like, people might think I'm Aisha Curry or whatever, but I know the women come for my husband, but it's nice to know that they still come for me too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them. But
it flatters you. It flatters you and lets you know.
So it makes me feel good because, like, I want my husband, but I know I'm fine. So I got 4 kids, and I might be in my 30s, but I still got it going on.
You still got it going on. Absolutely.
But, thank you for the compliment. So,
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, that's it for today's episode. This is my Father's Day episode dedicated to all the fathers out there. This coming Sunday, happy Father's Day. I want to thank the Earls for coming on to Pure Phuckery, the podcast, and taking part of the Phuckery today. Coach Steve and his wife Alicia, two of the dopest people, one of the dopest couples that I know. And I just think their family is beautiful. I think they're beautiful. Their children are beautiful. And what they have is beautiful. And for them to come on and sit on the camera with me and just, chit chat with me for a brief moment, I appreciate it. I thank you guys for coming on to Pure Phuckery. I thank my viewers. Thank you for tuning in to Pure Phuckery, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Monique Ross. Again, these are my special guest co-hosts, Coach Steve and his wife Alicia. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.